Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Episode 30, the Weekly Controversies. I am joined by my beautiful co-host, as always, first, the one and only, yours truly, Jayo Brown. Jayo, you're enjoying your dinner there. How are we this evening?
What's the story, boys and girls? I am enjoying my dinner. Sorry for eating in front of all of you because I'm a fat bastard. But good to be back on Weekly Controversies and good to see me old pal Tony again. So love to see us all there.
And it's been a summer of returns, and we can only end this summer with a return. Our other golden co-host is back. We have our OTC back in WWE, but back on Weekly Controversies is the original Golden One himself, the Golden One, Rob Gold. Rob, welcome back.
What a welcome back on that was. I enjoyed that, really did. And yes, back for another week. And I cannot wait to get stuck in and see what's happened.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna be completely random tonight. So whatever's
Yeah.
on your mind, feel free to shout it, speak it, preach it.
Yeah. We're gonna ramble on a lot in this episode, I'd say, lads.
And I think given what's on the way and what's past, and we're in the middle of it, it only feels fitting to talk about what happened last week, which is probably gonna confuse everyone, which was All In.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in. And we have a different perspective from Tony O'Connell because he was at it.
Exactly.
And
Unfortunately,
we're
Mark
gonna
is
get
not here with us. If he was, we'd
no,
have that
no.
perspective as well. But Mark is currently
I think Mark is still crying over the 3-0 loss to Celtic, like Manchester United lost
Mark
3-0 to
Mark
my beloved Liverpool. Come on, Elva.
Mark and Aaron are currently in the middle of stuff where they can't be with us, but once the last up the start, they will be back with us. But yeah, no, all in was it was hype. There was a lot of hype. Did it live up to the hype? I think the main event lived up to the hype, and that was
Yeah.
about it. It
Right.
was a very
Before getting into the matches, Tony, right? Because I think it'd be a good way to get insight of when you were in the stadium to us watching it on TV. What was the anticipation like from the year before to last week? Because last year it was the first Wembley Stadium wrestling show since SummerSlam, which
Mm.
was over like 30 years ago. Then you had the first ever All In outside of America in Wembley Stadium. But they done it this year again. So can you tell me, was there a difference or was it sort of the same with the anticipation and the hype going into the show?
I it was different because it was the second one and not the first one. But the fourth one, everyone was really excited because it was the first pay-per-view in Wembley since '92,
Yeah, it's in SummerSlam 92.
Mhm.
and since SummerSlam, and it was packed. It was packed that year, but unfortunately, I'm sure everyone's seen the pictures. Half of Wembley was empty for
Yeah.
All In
Mm,
too,
yeah.
Yeah. And it was
and
unfortunate. It
I
was
have
unfortunate.
pictures of what was tarpered, what was moved. It was just absolute anarchy.
Yeah, because I mean, you heard sort of people sort of talking about stories about looking like as if they could have actually gotten a ticket further down and things like that, and paid on the day to go further down and get it cheaper as well and things like that. And it was like,
But there were people that didn't even get emails that were getting moved on the day. Like they went in to get their seats, but they couldn't because that section was the shutters are down on it and it was tapered over. So they were like, "Where are we sitting? Our seats don't exist." So they'd only finished getting rid of tapering over things that particular day of the show. So
Did it seem pretty messy with the production and stuff? Because don't get me wrong, I thought the big stage over at one of the Wembley stands was actually great. Now, I'm one for small stands and small stages, but did it feel good to have that there to go like right? It feels like a big spectacle.
I preferred the stage setup this year than I did last year.
Mm,
Last year it just looked like a house show stage, but this year it looked like a big premium show stage,
mhm,
mm,
which was that plan to cover up the emptiness. But
yeah. And do you like? Here's the thing I was gonna say to you lads, right? When they announced that they are doing an all in Texas next year, and then they're going back to Wembley, I
mhm.
think having Wembley be the home of all in can really make it very stale for a lot of wrestling fans. Yes, it's exciting to go over and watch some wrestling overseas and stuff like
I
that when
agree.
you're not from England, right? But I just think like when, as you said, the first All In last year was amazing. Like everything that was built up towards it, everything that was historic about it, and even all the matches. I think I can remember about a couple of matches there that was very exciting because of the build during the summer. But watching even the build to All In too, I saw realistically about three matches to me that felt very important for that show. Looked at MGF and Will Ospreay, the final countdown match between Strickland and Daniel, not Daniel Bryan. Sorry, I might as well call him Daniel Bryan since I said it. And Mariah May and Tony Storm, because them three matches were kind of built upon the months as well, and everything else, in my opinion, just felt very much you'd see something on Dynamite or Collision. So I just think as a show last year, it was amazing. But there's parts of All In last week that was amazing, but I don't think the overall show was as good as thought as last year.
Yeah, I think that was kind of almost going to be what would kind of happen in a sense, because I think the anticipation for the first All In, the first pay-per-view in almost just over 30 years at Wembley, I think that was always going to be a major selling point for anybody who was a wrestling fan. And no matter what background they were coming from, they would have came from everywhere to see it, no matter whether they liked AEW or not. This year, a bit different because, product aside, some of the matches were well announced, were well thought. But again, as you say, some of the matches you could have easily seen on an episode of Dynamite as well on top of that. So I think, compared to last year, you can't, in some way, you can't really compare it to last year because of how important last year was for the company and for All In as a whole. Whereas this year you look at it and go, okay, it maybe, it's still done an okay crowd, but it could have done a lot better.
I think he should have done it somewhere else in the UK or Ireland. I think that's where it fell flat. Like what we've done, Wembley, let's not do it again and kill it. Let's save it for another time. Like they were in Cardiff for Dynamite and Collision. So why not use the Principality Stadium and have it in the Principality Stadium?
Yeah, exactly. Like
rather
even
than
the way
wrestlers go from one side of the coast to the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same way since the return of fans in 2021 when they went back to overseas in the UK for the PLE Clash of the Castle in Wales. Then they started then exploring other countries in the UK. So then they had Money in the Bank in England the following year. Then it was Scotland there for Clash of the Castle this year, and then they've gone to, of course, France and Germany and stuff. So I mean, it's not like WWE are going to stick at one place and then they're going to have the pay-per-views there. They're literally just going to go everywhere, explore different sort of countries, and then see how well they can do in terms of numbers. It's like next year, there's plans of possibly an Italian PLA. So that's going to be exciting because them fans are as intense as probably the French were. That's what Triple H has done so well with the likes of these sort of shows. But I think with Tony Khan, I think going to Cardiff was a good idea for Dynamite and stuff like that. But as you said, the Principality Stadium was there. He could have done All In that year. But I just think if he was to make All In very exciting for fans for the UK, I think do the WWE route and just go all over the place.
Definitely, even especially if you could pick like any of the football stadiums that have even an actual sort of a cover type of thing in that, sort of thing in that, because likes of the Principality.
There's not a lot of football stadiums that have the cover over them.
There's not. I think you've got Principality, then you've also got, as I say,
that's a rugby stadium, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I suppose it used to be used for, it was always used to be used for Liverpool South as such. It was called whenever Liverpool were winning that trophy that they could win.
That's the point. That's the point they're making. They've no shortage of stadiums they could go to in the UK.
Yeah,
or even if they want to make a risk with and bring something to Ireland. Like All In probably looks fuller in the Aviva than it did in Wembley because of how badly it undersold.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Yeah, I talked to my boss at work, right? Because he knows I'm a big wrestling fan, and I even said to him because we were talking about kind of Crow Park getting all these big artists, so Coldplay that happened over the weekend. Yeah, Taylor Swift, Oasis got announced for a couple of dates in Croker, and it's kind of like, yes, GAA are very known for being greedy and for having an expensive fee for anyone who hosts anything in the stadium. And I'm like, WWE are a multi-billionaire company. surely, yes, they're taking a risk with the weather and stuff in Ireland, but they should have absolutely a stadium in the stadium show. They have to have a stadium show or park. Yes, it might not sell to 80 odd thousand people, but I'd say whatever money they pay to have the show in the stadium, they'll get back with the revenue and everything else with the merch. Like honestly, and not only that, we are due and owed a PLE. We were robbed of a takeover because of COVID, and now I think we should be awarded with some sort of PLE.
The top 5 of the 4 at this point, because Becky's not currently signed. 4 of the top stars are Irish.
Exactly. We've more fucking stars from any other country that's around that region, around that island, between the UK and Ireland. We've more wrestlers.
Mm. Yeah, true. Because I mean, there's a couple of them coming our way very, very soon as well.
Hopefully. But let's get into All In anyway. I don't know if anyone has the match card, but I think the fourth match of the All In card was the trios match, the trio tag team match.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it. So, Tony, what was that match like?
There's a lot going on. I don't think it was a good idea to have, I don't know, it was a triple threat 6-piece in that match.
It was like a
There was a lot going on in that
match.
match. It was a clusterfuck. It was just so much was going on. It was hard to pay attention. Like, you're looking at the screen to see what's going on around here, looking at the ring to see who's in the ring. It was it was one of those kind of, where do I look, what am I looking at?
Yeah. I hear trying to do that, and especially when you're at the venue trying to watch it and you're trying to enjoy it. You're like, where do you look? Do you look in the ring? Do you look at the screen? Sometimes it's impossible.
Yeah, so it was basically a clusterfuck in a way, because I didn't, because I was watching the end of the Lupa match, so I can't tell you what the match was like. I didn't go back to watch All In, but I mean, Pac getting a win is amazing in a way.
He got his Wembley moment.
He got
his Wembley moment. And apparently he's part of the BCC now. When did that happen?
Yeah, when did that happen? That's like,
Sorry, bro. The Lucha Bros got released, so we're going to put you with them. We're going to put you with these lads, and we're going to take the biggest star off that group and turn him heel.
Yeah, literally. Like, don't know what the
Marine is
going to happen, but yeah, literally. But then the second match was Toni Storm versus Mariah May, which was one of the match I was looking forward to. It
was one of the 3 matches I was looking forward to, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Mariah May winning, I was like happy for her, but do you think it's probably too soon for her to be champion right now?
So, to pull a quote that gets overly used in these situations, even Stevie Wonder saw that coming.
Do you think that was happening though? Because I actually was quite surprised.
So, the event was held in London, England. Mariah May is from London, England. It was written on the wall.
Yeah.
I could have went to the toilet, the bar, got up, Pete, and came back. And all I would have missed was a great match, because I would have known the result.
Yeah.
Is she a transitional champion? Are they going to use it to hand the title on to someone else? Who knows? It was a good match. 2 girls gave it their all.
Yeah, I think it's another Saraya, in my opinion, Tony. Like, it was a great match, don't get me wrong. I think 2 women done really, really well. Mariah May, for someone who hasn't wrestled as long as Toni Storm has, she actually really performed well. And I thought the spot where her mum was actually really good, where she slapped that mat, because I think when you're a heel, you need to step up to a hatred level where people cannot like what you're doing. So to slap your ma is a really good angle to go with during the match. Yeah, but I just think the reason why they gave it to her is because it was in England. It's another Saraya moment, and
same reason the BCC won the title.
Yeah, but you need to realistically look at it and go, right, if you're putting the belt on her, what are you gonna do with her? And what's the plan? I just think it's the fact that it's because of the occasion. That's why they gave it to her. Yeah. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they can get enough time by the time of this recording, a rematch with Toni Storm, and then Toni Storm probably getting the win back. I haven't got a clue, but I just don't think she'll last long as champion, in my opinion.
I think that's the usual question is, like, should that keep happening? As in somebody going to their country, their city, whatever happens to be, challenge for a match, should they always get the win, whether there's a title match or not? If it's a title match, for me, it has to make sense in the story, not just where they're from. as well, because I mean, you've seen the likes of whenever Sami Zayn took on Roman Reigns for the title. It's like, Sami Zayn didn't win the title. Roman Reigns retained it. Do you know what I mean? Crowd didn't like it because they were hoping that Sami Zayn was going to win at his hometown. Didn't happen because it didn't suit the story. Whereas this, I say, having Mariah May win the title, did it suit the story? Who knows? It was a good moment, great moment for her, for the family. But again, as you say, Jayo, the fact that, could she drop it at the next show at All Out, which could
but as you said, Rob, it like her winning does elevate the story, but I think it'll elevate it to the fact that Tony Storm will get the win back, but then it'll then be another rematch clause then into this fucking rivalry, so then you'll have the third match. So that's probably what Tony Khan is thinking. But I just think that sometimes things can be left alone until you can revisit it. And it's that sort of thing where Tony Storm could have easily have gotten that win, and it could have been a brilliant moment for her to get a win at Wembley, because since All In has happened at Wembley, she's been pinned twice. So it's not a good look
She's
at her. So, yeah. So it's literally the fact of, like, if Tony won, it's not going to dent Mariah May's career. She's got an exciting career ahead of her. I think they could have revisited that in the next couple of months or leading up to World's End, near enough December time, because you can still elevate the story in a way. You don't have to rush it. And I just think the fact now is that Tony Khan doesn't have really much going on at the moment, so he just wants to keep the storylines fresh and hot. But I just don't see it that way. I just see more of just Mariah May be transitional for Tony Storm to get it back, and that's just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
But then the next match, lads, does anyone actually have the card? Because sometimes I do fucking forget what was the next match.
Don't have the card.
No.
But the next match, I think,
well, you were there,
was...
actually. Go on, I have no excuse. You were there.
I think the next match after that was the Gauntlet Casino Battle Royal.
Oh yes, actually, yeah, you are right. It was. And can I actually admit something, right? Why did I thought it was a Royal Rumble match? It says Gauntlet, but yeah, I thought it was a Royal Rumble match.
The match has unlimited entrance. It only finishes when someone gets the 3 count. So
yeah, Gauntlet. I just don't know why. I was with my girlfriend. I was like, yeah, this can't be a Royal Rumble match. They're all gonna come in the ring and then try to eliminate each other. But then they start pinning. It's like, what the fuck did they start pinning for? And then I only remembered it's a fucking Gauntlet match. I was like, you fucking gobshite, Jay. But yeah, so Nigel McGuinness coming back in wrestling. What do you think of that, lads?
That was my moment of the weekend.
What?
After
Nigel McGuinness?
15 years, Nigel McGuinness stepped foot back in a wrestling ring. And not just any wrestling ring, a wrestling ring in the most famous venue in his home country of England, Wembley.
Yeah. It was such an amazing moment, because what happened to Nigel McGuinness? Like, why he had to retire? It was like something got to do with his blood.
Yeah, I think he had hip.
Yeah. No, man, which is kind of a scary thing, because I think that was the same way with your man fucking Paddy Houlihan with the UFC. I think that's why he had to retire from the UFC.
But he can wrestle as long as he doesn't bleed. I think he's safe to rest as long as he doesn't bleed.
Yeah. I mean, not really. Many wrestlers don't really bleed unless they, blade themselves. But I mean, it was good seeing him though. He looked in fucking unbelievable shape as well.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the only
there mingling in, doing the same.
It wasn't the only surprise in that match.
Go on.
We saw the debut of the one, the only Ricochet.
Which was so obvious. I'm sorry, but it was so obvious that he was.
I knew he was in it because I seen him when I was walking around Wembley the night before.
Yeah. Oh, did you meet him? Did you?
Well, see, he was coming out a different entrance, so back to the hotel, and it was Dan said, "It's not Ricochet." And I looked over, and I was like, I said no at first. Then I was like, actually, no, wait, that is Ricochet.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was good seeing him. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what he does in AEW now, in fairness, because he's going to get given a chance to show his wrestling.
Can't wait for him to be stuck in AEW there.
Oh, yeah, literally. He's going to be fucked in there in the next couple of months. He'll have his Will Ospreay match, and then that's it. Then back where he belongs. No, I'm going to mess with it. No, Ricochet, hopefully he does well. And it should be interesting to see what sort of matchups then he has in AEW, and hopefully it doesn't get fucked in Ring of Honor, because sometimes when you're not used, you get fucked into that. Can I actually touch upon something actually with this match? And it's got to do with Okada, right? So Okada didn't sign again with the New Japan Pro Wrestling. And he had his options. He had an option to go WWE with NXT and to AEW and be on the main roster and stuff like that. And he chose to go to AEW. And lads, why the fuck are they making him a joke? Like, seriously.
Why are they making him? Why are they making him look like a taller actor with his hour?
Actual laughing stock? Because think about it, right? There's so much looking like an absolute superstar in another company and being the best professional wrestler at that company. Then going to another company, which are different to WWE. Oh, we are different. We are all about the wrestling. And we don't care about, making fun of people and stuff like that. But then you make Okada a super character. They make him a funny character. They pull super faces and calls everyone bitch. Where to me, Okada was the Rainmaker. He was Mr. New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was the Roman Reigns of that fucking company. He won every championship there is to win in that company. He was a fucking badass. And you look at him in AEW and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, seriously. Yeah, they're giving him a belt that hasn't been around long. But if you ask me, I think they've booked him so fucking weird. And they need to, get him fresh start, like something new, because the more and more this keeps happening, he's just going to be down the pecking order and he's not going to be used in AEW.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing with a lot of the ones who tend to, choose AEW over, say, the likes of either New Japan or WWE and things like that. It's like the fact that, like, when they go to, I mean, people say the same about WWE as well, no matter where they go. It's like, he would have been better off in AEW because Tony Khan would have put him in a match with whoever. But then you look at the ones who the likes of AEW have signed and brought over, the likes of Okada, like not doing anything with him at all, like anything reasonable that he should be on or that matches that he should be in. Like instead of having him, at production at a computer hitting a button, saying he hit the wrong button, all this here type of stuff. It's like, come on, he's better than that. Use him better. It's like stars.
No, it's like even the fact that like I see the TNT Championship as a mid card title, and yes, he is not a mid card wrestler, no any stretch in the means. But if you're gonna make a character in Okada who was so popular in Japan and get him over in the States, which a lot of wrestling fans know who he is because he's been at the States before for Ring of Honor shows and stuff. So everyone kind of knows who he is. He gets big reaction everywhere he goes. Even if he was to put into a TNT title match and then he won that and became a really serious mid card champion, at least he can then go, right, I have something then to build on to then go into the AEW title picture. But no, it's not like that. They're giving them a belt. I don't know. I could be wrong. AEW fans, please correct me because I'd like to get corrected on and prove wrong. But this Continental title that they have, I think was actually made for Okada because they were like, right, we haven't got anything for him, so let's just make him a belt and then let him keep it for as long as we have other plans for him. Like, I think Eddie Kingston had it. I could be wrong, as I said, but it's like, what is this championship?
He had it and then he had to relinquish it because he was injured.
Yeah, so I just think, like, I don't know. It's just, I don't see Okada being really serious in the current product of AEW. I would love him to be serious. I think if he went to NXT, I think, yes, it's not the main roster, but if you're going to make a start, you make a start somewhere. And I think NXT right now, if you agree with me, Tony, is probably red hot. So if you went to a red hot,
right now is red hot.
Scene,
NXT right now 100% is red hot.
If you went to a red hot NXT and then mingled with the likes of the TNA guys and the WWE guys and everything like that, you'd see probably the best Okada from New Japan. But at the moment, he's just a fucking joke.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. NXT is shit hot right now.
Yeah, why not go somewhere? Yes, you're not on the main roster, but go and make a fucking name for yourself. Because look at the reputation Japanese wrestlers have over in America or in American companies. Like even as TNA days, you remember Okada in TNA, lads? He was another fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I just think New Japan are the only company that can actually book him right. In his own fucking country, they can book him right. But it is a shame. But I actually want to touch on as well with you, Tony, your favourite wrestler, Hangman Adam Page, who a lot of people thought was going to win the Gauntlet.
I had him as he picked minute.
Yeah.
I had him as he picked minute.
Turned out to be Big Daddy, Dirty, that's dead, Christian Cage.
And it was stupid booking.
Do you think it was stupid booking? I loved it.
It was a shit decision from shit creative.
Do you think they've missed a big opportunity there to have Hangman and Daniel Bryan be a match, or possibly a triple threat with Swerve?
I think they missed a big chance to even put a question mark on that match at the end of the night. Really, really won't they? Because yeah, you appeared in the main event, but it meant fucking nothing. He couldn't do it to the
Yeah,
outcome.
but
And don't get me
as
wrong,
we
I'm looking forward to All Out. I'm looking forward to Hangman and Swerve in the side of steel cage. It's going to be a 5-star classic.
no,
But
yeah, I like in a way that's what they were probably doing, which I can see why they would do it. Like, because I think they need to end this, rivalry with Swerve and Hangman, and what better way to do it
but
than in a steel
they
cage
could have
match?
still won that match. Had this cage match with Swerve to end the rivalry, and then cashed in on Bryan Danielson at the end of All Out.
Yeah, no, but it should be interesting to see how they do. Right, so the next match that we get into is a match particularly I wasn't interested in. I was just on my phone mostly watching it, and that was the triple threat tag team match for the AW World titles. It was the Acclaimed versus FTR versus the champions, fucking the Young Bucks. And honestly, it was such a disappointing match.
It
I
was,
don't know what you
and
thought about it.
I was backing FTR going into this match, and I also got that one wrong because I had read that the Young Bucks were taking a step back on a restricted schedule. So I thought they're not going to hold the tag belts in a restricted schedule. They're going to want them on TV, getting screen time. No, that wasn't the case.
Yeah, no, honestly, like it's the fact that they're just doing it because oh look we're EVPs and we have this power and stuff like that, and like that's why I said a couple of months ago. I think Aaron goes, "Oh, you only hate them now." Yes, because it's just they're not entertaining. Like oh, the big dirty heels, and there's nothing interesting in them to being heels though. It's like they're being petty, and I said that before, and I still feel the same way now. They're just being petty characters, and I just think they're being really themselves because it's like, oh, look at this power. We can put ourselves as champions and all that shit. And it just makes it so boring. And like FTR is another, like, I think after all in last year, I think they've been the most shafted tag team in all of wrestling. Like literally, and you know how decorated FTR are. They had opportunities after all in to sign back with the WWE, and they never did. They never signed back.
Listen,
And it's like,
I hope if
holy
their
shit!
contract's
Can you
up, they
imagine if
sign back.
FTR was in the tag team division now, man? The FTR would fucking be immense in the WWE tag division.
When their contract was expiring last year, Vince still had was still at the helms of WWE. It was only after that he started going away. So I believe in my heart and soul, as soon as their contract comes to an end, they're going home.
Yeah, absolutely. We've
And
seen what the
and if you
revival
and
were like.
I can already see the comment section on Instagram saying, "But where's your proof? Where's your proof?" Square Strickland is now the highest paid wrestler, not just in AEW, but in the profession, because how desperate Tony was to keep him, because he knew he was going to go back as Triple H was in charge of them.
How much is Swerve earning in AEW, if you
Square
know?
earns about the same amount as Brock Lesnar.
Fuck right off.
That is his contract.
Crazy.
Jesus Christ. I didn't know he was that much because Brock
There was a
Lesnar gets a
lot. There was a
fucking
lot
load
of
when he
backlash
appears.
over it on it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of backlash over it.
Yeah.
But that's the
He
thing. It's not even the fault of Swear Strickland. It's
is the
all Tony
highest paid
Khan.
wrestler in the world right now. That man is valued higher
Holy
than
balls.
Bryan Danielson. That man is valued higher than Randy Orton
Mm.
in Tony Khan's mind. That's how
Yeah, then
desperate he is
Cody, then
to
Roman.
keep his talent. And he's willing to put out just sign a blank check. Say you signed the contract. Here's your blank check. You pick your wages.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that and I was like, right, but how much is he getting? And then when you're telling me now that it's Brock Lesnar numbers, I was like, what?
Brock Lesnar
He done
money.
Brock Lesnar numbers?
Brock
Man, no
Lesnar
wonder
money.
he signed. Like, don't get me wrong, we all love professional wrestling, but if the money's there on the table, you're fucking gonna take it. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, even if you're not getting used, you're still earning that fucking money. You know,
Just
fair
saying,
fucks to swear
the
Strickland.
last company that was giving out, the last company that was giving out paychecks like that didn't last too long.
No, they fucking didn't. No, they didn't. They closed their doors and it was bought by a McMahon. But yeah, that's crazy. But
Funny enough, the McMahon that bought that was saw backstage with Tony Khan.
yeah, Shane McMahon, which actually I could get onto even now with Shane McMahon. Him not turning up at all in. Were you quite surprised with that, Tony? Because I thought he might have had a
I kept
little.
telling everybody they were deluded. They said he was only having a meeting. no hints at Hummin and Haas that he was going to show up. You know what I mean? I gave them Ricochet. I said Ricochet. You know what I mean? I had a feeling Ricochet was going to be there. Then it was confirmed when we crossed paths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think of Ricochet hands down. I think everyone kind of knew what was happening with her, like, because like no matter how much they try to sort of like, say on air, it's like, oh, is
But
it really him? Blah. It's like, of course it is him. We know it's going to be him. But
I'd like to introduce the next match because it was my funniest moment of the night. And I feel bad for one of the two competitors in this match because it's not a great feeling when you're watching thousands of fans leave to go to the toilet or go to the bar. But the match after that, I believe, was Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné.
Um. Yeah, Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné. That was a fucking match. That
And I
Jesus.
waited for Britt's entrance so I could record a cheer on Bricks and a Brit fan. And even I left to go to the toilet and get a drink. Like
Yeah, there wasn't
I
really
think
much
my
interest.
mate texted me saying, "What's going on? Why is everyone leaving?" And I was like, "Nobody wants to watch Mercedes Moné wrestle."
But wait, can I touch on this, right? So I've been a big fan of Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, and WWE for many years because I think when I see her when I seen her in NXT, I thought she was one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. I honestly thought that with men and women, she was amazing. She was great at storytelling. She was great in the ring. She was great on the mic. She had everything for her young age. And this was that around 2016. So you're looking at nearly 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? She would have been in her early 20s, mid 20s at this stage. And like I look at it now, and yeah, people say she's got an ego and like she's asking for so much money and stuff like that. But then again, it's all about, portraying the character right. And in fairness, she hasn't really wrestled that much in the last couple of years. She hasn't. And it is fucking hard to then get into that rhythm and then get booked a certain way. And I just think so far in her AEW, run, it hasn't been that exciting and people are like downgrading her. But I think there is a lot that Mercedes Moné can prove in her career. I just don't think it would be in AEW. I think it's in WWE where she can get booked correctly by a creator who made her basically in Triple H.
yeah.
She needs someone that's not afraid to tell her no. That's the problem. Tony can't keep telling her yes. Like if you don't tell someone no, this is going to happen. Like, she has got an ego problem, and I will whoever said she has an ego problem, I will back them up because she let this fame go to her head and make her think she's a bigger star than she actually is. Yeah, congrats. Your uncle is Snoop Dogg. Well done. Kudos to you. But you are not Snoop Dogg. You are Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks. You are a B talent at best.
Oh,
At best. And you do not get to go around and dictate to your boss. You should get paid as much as Hogan did in his WCW days. That is just fucking crazy. The fact that she could go in and dictate that she gets paid more than any other female in that locker room, and she wonders why none of the females want to work with her.
mm. Yeah. Look. I know she has got that problem, but Tony Khan's not going to talk to her. You said it there. Tony Khan's going to shove a lot of money into her face and go, here's what you want. Have whatever
That's
you
how he
want.
fixes
He
his
done the
problems.
same way with Sarah Strickland.
Mhm.
Swear Strickland, it's not his fault, by the way. He got a lot of money because Tony Khan was afraid to lose one of his biggest stars, and he literally fucked a load of money at him and goes, "Right, you can have that. I don't care what you say. You're not going anywhere." And that's the way Tony Khan's going to operate with all his wrestlers. He only cares about just keeping them, and doesn't matter how much he spends when they keep them. But when you look at Sasha, right? Sasha in WWE, she was good. She had great matches. The stuff with Charlotte Flair, with Bailey, with Becky, every like her friends, and when she had things with Naomi and the tag team, women's tag team titles and stuff. And yeah, it didn't last long because then they both walked out. But I mean, she just thought at the time she knew our value. And like when you look at the ego she has, I just think if you had someone like Triple H who, if in a way was like a male Sasha Banks back in the day, who was a young champion and he carried his weight around and everything, and then he learned to mature and grow. I think Mercedes Moné needs that in her career. She needs to be mentored to basically grow, not just as a person, but also as, a professional wrestler. And I just think, WWE don't see her in that value, but in a way, they're going to be making a lot of money. They've got a lot of amazing women's wrestlers coming in. We've seen the debut of Julia. I think Stephanie, the second, I fucking forget her second name. I
Left
just
and
know her
under.
name is Stephanie something. Yeah, and
Left and under.
yeah, she like there's so many great women's wrestlers coming in that's going to be into NXT, that's going to be on the main roster in a couple of years. And if you can imagine Sasha Banks being amongst that, and then with the other girls, fucking Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez, man, it's gonna be a very, very exciting women's division in WWE if Sasha Banks would ever be signed up. Because I know her talent, I know a lot of people give her a lot of shit, but I will always back her because I know how good she can be. But she just needs to deal with the ego, basically.
Yeah, I think that
Also,
I think with Triple H as well, like to especially with even with Shawn Michaels, it's like leave your ego at the door. You're coming into here. You're coming into my house. This is my house. Ego's left at the door. You wrestle. You come here to wrestle. You come here to work. You do it for yourself. You do it for the fans. You do it for me, and boom, you've got yourself an absolute freaking as I say, awesome superstar back again, and that's how it's done. You don't get
I mean,
the 3 million a year, 4 million a year, whatever happens to be. You say like you want
yeah,
to be there because you just want to get paid millions and millions to do it.
to touch back on Jamie earlier saying that NXT is shit hot right now, the proof of that is in the pudding. And that for the first time since they went through the revamp of being fucking gay pride NXT, then back to kind of a black and gold NXT. If anyone has seen No Mercy from the past weekend, that show was the best wrestling show I've seen between Bash and All In. It fucking delivered and then some. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and we will definitely touch on that. Definitely, we will, because I just want to stick with the all-in conversation. But here's what I actually want to say to you, because you said you're a big Britt Baker fan. She's also someone who has an attitude. It was a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, whatever. She actually said some words about MGF and his partner. So do you not think she's another person that
I
also has got
I
control of
I
their
heard
body?
about that. I heard about that. But what we didn't hear is why she said it. So I
Right.
haven't passed judgment on it because all I've heard is one side of a two-sided story.
Yeah.
Like, yes, she lashed out with MJF and Denise Salado, but why did she not lash out with MJF and Denise Salado?
Mm. See, you're never going to get that side because they're never going to open up about that side. It's just that's the way it is. They would rather keep it under the carpet than express it because AEW so far they get into a lot of press because of what's going on backstage. And it all started from CM Punk a couple of years ago. It literally all started with that. So it's always going to be in the public eye. That's why I'd say MGF and that, and his partner be just like just leave it. I mean, whatever's done is done, and just move
But
on with it.
you,
But
you did mention MJF there,
yeah,
and that was indeed the next match. It was Team America versus Team UK. It was Will Ospreay versus MJF.
yeah, it was, and it was. Oh, cause see, it's very close with Daniel Bryan and Swerve Strickland for match of the night. It literally was so amazing. Not as long as the Dynamite match, which was literally an hour, but it was fucking amazing. It was
I
amazing.
I think for me, it places second with Daniel Bryan and Swerve placing first, only because I was there live and I got the same final countdown as Bryan Danielson came out.
Yeah, literally. But what did you think about that MGF and Will Ospreay match and Will Ospreay's Assassin's Creed entrance?
Well, we've known for a long time that Will Ospreay is an Assassin's Creed fan. Like you said, his gimmick is based on the aerial assassin. He did an Assassin's Creed entrance kind of at the first on in. He had in an Ezio kind of designed. This one was cool because they had the actors, like you said, doing the voiceovers and stuff. And he did tease in the press conference afterwards that he may be working with them to develop an Osprey-esque DLC character.
Right.
So that'd be interesting to see if that happens. But his entrance was really cool. I think he could have lost the pair of corners, but it was really cool.
Yeah, it was actually, I have to say, for knowing the franchise years, I've never played it, but known it for years. Yeah, it's such a fucking cool entrance. But it wasn't the best entrance, though. The best entrance was, of course, Mr. America living in America.
I said
It
I
was
turned
MJF.
around. I turned and leaned over to Mark and I said, wouldn't it be much better if he came out to live in America?
That would be unreal, wouldn't it? He had the Apollo Creed shit and all. He
I'm
had the
telling you, he
hat.
had
He
the
had the
hat, the things.
shorts and the
I
lot.
think he could have done the.
Oh, it would have been fucking amazing. Would
Because
have been
then
the most
because
epic
when
ending ever.
Osprey dropped him on his neck, he could have stood over him at the mic and said, if he dies, he dies.
It fucking would have been unreal. But yeah, MGF coming out in his fucking American stuff and the big MGF American flag and lads, I will say this. I know he's back as a heel and he's being the MGF as he, always was. But when I heard he was doing this American gimmick, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, they're gonna shaft him really bad here, me with the script and stuff. But to me, I just think whatever MGF gets put in front of him, he always makes a fucking work. And he is honestly, there's a reason why he's getting big money in all in AEW because he's literally he's one of the most amazing professional wrestlers in the world. He's fucking unbelievable at what he does. He makes everything right. He makes the most interesting thing. Yeah, like honestly, I'm so lost with words MGF. I'm such a big fucking mark for him. He's unbelievable, lads. But he didn't win at the end. Will Ospreay won, and yeah, listen, it was inevitable that was going to happen. He wasn't going to be champion for long.
Yeah, yeah. Especially with that belt as well, because that design on the United Kingdom Championship belt, it's a really, really nice belt. And that is it one I'm going to get? Probably, because I really like nice belts. But
you need to stop buying belts, bro.
Listen, you know your fucking bollocks.
I wouldn't have enough room in the house to keep them.
Literally. But yeah, it was such an amazing match. And honestly, I would not mind to see that match again because they're one apiece, them two. So I don't know. I think you've gone past that now because of the interference with not Ryan Garcia, Daniel Garcia. Why do I keep saying Ryan Garcia? I'm telling you now, I can't get that chap's name right. But Daniel Garcia came out, and it seems to me that he's staying in AEW. He is not leaving the company because there was rumors going around he was going to be debuting in NXT in the next couple of months, but that doesn't seem the case.
Well, I mean, they could easily write him off for all out because he's against MJF and what's probably going to be a non-sanctioned match.
But yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna last. Really, it's gonna just be a one and done thing. I don't want to see them two really be a rivalry coming in the last couple of months in the year. It just wouldn't be really great because Daniel Garcia is so young. It's just like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna elevate the story? He's not really MGF. It's just gonna carry the bags throughout this whole, matching really because like there's so much development that he needs, Daniel Garcia. And I just think, I mean, WWE, NXT would be a perfect place for him. But we'll just have to see what happens because Daniel Garcia is only known for that. He needs to stop doing that shit. He needs to be really, really serious, because he can't do that really much in NXT until he gets fucked with the fans. But yeah, we'll just see what happens anyway. Chris Jericho next. Don't talk about Chris Jericho because I want the lad to retire. I still feel that way. And anyone that says that I'm wrong, go fuck yourselves because I am right. He needs to retire.
Listen, that match was booked right. It was booked flawlessly. And I'm delighted Hook is using the Taz mission to finish matches now.
Yeah, he's using his Taz finisher because he's no other finisher of himself. You know what I mean? That's an original wrestler. I mean, taking that Taz.
And we got to see Taz use the Taz mission. That was a kill pop. That was a nice moment to pop it.
It was, and then him having this moment with his fucking fuzzy band, Chris Jericho. Oh, look at me, I've got a band. Fair play to me. You want to keep telling us that. But then the next match was actually, I thought it was a decent match. I have to say, I really enjoyed it, which was the Scapegoat Jack Perry versus Darby Allin in another coffin match.
I was really surprised that Jack Perry won.
Yeah, I was, but I thought it was actually a really good decision. With the way Jack Perry, I know Jack Perry has turned heel and he's basically aligned himself with the Elite, but I think out of everyone in the Elite, he's probably been the one that's booked correctly. And I never thought I'd say that. I thought Jack Perry being one of the most interesting things going into All In. What's he going to do with the coffin match? Is there anything that's going to be out of the blue? But what was out of the blue was him winning the match and actually being really like it was a very much holy shit moment because like Darby Allin losing a coffin match is a holy shit moment in itself. But
And it wasn't even the holy shit moment. The holy shit moment came after the fucking match.
yeah, and then there was another holy shit moment. Then fucking Sting came out, which was another fucking epic, return. The fucking icon. I thought he was going to come back and wrestle. He only just done one scorpion drop and that was it. Yeah, but it's good to see Sting back. But Jack Perry got the win. And, you know what, just to end the All-In conversation, and then we can move on to the No Mercy conversation. The best match of the night, I agree with Tony, which was the final countdown. It was Swerve Strickland versus Bryan Danielson. I'm getting the fucking name right, lads. Get up out of it. So, just wow. Can I just say that out straight? What a fucking match.
It was, fuck me, it was from start to finish, it was a hell of a match. It was like, I was like, holy bollocks, these lads are killing each other. And fair play to Bryan Danielson for agreeing to everything happening in that match, knowing full well his two kids were going to be ringside.
Yeah, not even his two girls, his fucking boy and girl.
I nearly bet a serious amount of money that he did not tell Brie that he was going to be dragged over beside the kids, bet stupid, and made bleed in front of them. Because there's no way she'd agree to that.
No, absolutely not. He went above and beyond in that match. And some of the fucking things that Bryan Danielson was doing was, Bryan Danielson of old, fucking Daniel Bryan WWE, some of the movesets and all he was doing in that match was fucking epic. And they're like, man, I don't want this guy to retire. Like, honest to God, he's still fucking got it. He can still fucking move. But,
until honestly, he loses the belt, he's not going anywhere.
No, he is not. And that's another thing, actually, I do want to discuss after talking about this match. But also, how much of, how better Swerve Strickland has gotten as a wrestler, by the way. Because we remember Swerve Strickland being this fucking scrawny, skinny kid in OTT and going out there making a name
for himself. Ain't nobody.
Yeah. Loves me better. Literally.
Ain't nobody make me feel this way.
Literally. And he's literally gotten so built. He's gotten so much better as a wrestler. And he actually is a star. But as you were saying to me, Tony Khan really sees him as his biggest fucking protege and giving him the biggest amount of money any wrestler's getting at the moment. And it's like, fuck me. I think he probably feels like he's earned that because he's putting the craft, he's putting the hard work, and he feels like he's probably earned that money. So I mean, fair play to fucking Swerve Strickland.
Indeed.
There's
only more to come from him as well, and that's the scary thing.
Yeah, there is. But I do want to actually touch on something that I wanted to discuss on this episode, and it's kind of like a what if that I want to pitch to you, right? And we kind of got that at Dynamite. Bryan Danielson came out and said whoever beats him basically for the AEW championship will basically end his full-time wrestling career because he wants to go part-time after the title belt is basically taken away from him. But I think my prediction, what I wanted to happen was 90% correct. But what I think they should have done was, I think they should have had Bryan Danielson be champion, and whoever takes the belt off him takes his whole career off him as well. The same way they were doing it with Swerve Strickland. I think they should have kept that same way for the title run with Bryan Danielson, because I think if you're going to make Bryan Danielson's last World Championship run memorable, and if for it being the AEW World Championship, I would have that man hold it for a good year and a half probably, and then make him lose to someone you believe can, be a passing of the torch.
Well, the only problem with him holding it for a year and a half is Christian has to cash in his contract before the year is ended.
No, he will cash it in, but I just don't see him. If you ask me, I see him cashing in when eventually Edge gets back, and I think they could revisit that shit.
I think he's going to cash in before Edge gets back, and then when Edge gets back, they're going to throw him back in feud with Christian again.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the title. Mm-hmm.
But do you see Adam Copeland being AEW champion in 2025?
I've seen him being AEW champion before he got injured.
Do you think so? Do you think they would have had him and Swerve Strickland be the match all in instead of Bryan Danielson?
I think it would have still been Bryan Danielson, but I think Edge would have been the one to put the nail in Danielson's coffin.
Do you reckon? Mm. I don't know because, like, yeah, it could have made it for a good story, but yeah, it is weird that, innit? It's weird that Adam Copeland wasn't at the show because it's mad to think what plans he could have had. He could have probably had
But
Christian Cage again.
you have to be booking wise as well now, because whoever beats Bryan Danielson and effectively retires him is going to end up being a bad guy. So you have to be
Mm,
careful who you put in that situation.
true. Do you want to turn Adam Copeland heel? Not really, because they tried that in WWE, and in fairness, they probably thought it wasn't working. Even though I thought it was working well with the Judgment Day, but they just saw him as two of a popular wrestler to turn heel. Then again, you see a lot. You look at fucking Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was the biggest heel in WWE and was getting pops left, right, and center. So I mean, it's not an excuse, basically. You know, but yeah, that's the all in chat. You want to talk about No Mercy, Tony?
Do we have time?
I'd say we have time, yeah. I mean, it's just gone 9 o'clock. So
Would we not have a limit, a runtime limit, so we can't go over these days? I suppose we can briefly talk about the key points that had people talking afterwards. And the fourth of those key points for me is shit booking, but then booking safe by the decision after the fact. And that was Chase Hughes dropping the tag titles after only fucking winning them.
mm,
Then it was saved by Ridge Holland being that monster we know we can be.
right.
Also, hats off to Tia Hale. That girl can act. The look of sheer fear in her face and the tears that come with it, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
And then what do you think about the debut of Julia in NXT?
Well, she debuted technically in the crowd a few months ago, but then she had to finish her contractual obligations. So, even before the debut, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, unbelievable match. Jada Parker's definitely one to watch. And Roxanne Perez proved again why she is that bitch, why she is the prodigy, why she is on another level and nobody else is on her level. So it'll be interesting to see who they have beat her. If it's Julia, and that pushes Roxanne to the next stage of her career, and so be it. But at least we know now who Jada and Roxanne seen after their interview segment on the NXT last week. It was Julia.
Yeah,
It
it
wasn't
literally was.
Rosemary. We all thought it was Rosemary at first, but we now know, in fact, it was Julia.
Yeah, and as I said to you, Tony, like just even talking NXT now, and how big that women's division is going to be now, because you look at Roxanne, what she's doing with the NXT Championship. They've built all the voice. They have what's her name, Jordan, being the North American champion. And it's
Uh,
like the
yeah,
SoCal. There's so many fucking women's wrestlers there that are like getting
Jordan,
really
Calamity
big.
Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, they literally there's a lot of women's wrestlers that are getting big in the product, and now you've got more well-known, amazing women's wrestlers coming into the product, and then elevating that fucking women's division. And honestly, it's probably a controversial call. I might make it my last controversial call, but I think the NXT women's division is as better as the women's division in the main roster because of the
It,
amount of women's wrestlers going into it
it is a solid
that will
division at the moment.
make it that much exciting.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's a solid division at the moment. And we are awaiting the return of someone who I also think could be the person to dethrone Roxanne Perez if Julia doesn't get the job done. And that is Aura Jade.
Yeah. If you could say fucking injury free, man.
She didn't fucking hope she's gone into the second time.
Literally. And they could have done some big things with her as a heel. But like she just has the most shittiest nails I've ever seen in my entire life, man. Worse than Tegan Knox's.
Tegan Knox can't even get booked for a tattoo now.
Oh,
I'm leaving. I'm
stop,
out.
bro.
I'm done.
Don't mention about women not getting booked because yeah, we'd be here all fucking night.
Yeah, it's
Another. Oh, we touched on Jerry. You got to be for me. Another Tony Jayo and Rob Femi priced on a bike. Those two lads absolutely killed each other.
Oba family is
Overrated.
no, I'm not for it.
No, he's not. They're booking him really well. They're booking him right. He does his whole gimmick really well.
He does.
He's not even Nigerian. He's worse accent than Apollo
Alba
fucking
Femi.
Crews.
I'm gonna get called out for this. Alba Femi is how Vince saw Apollo Crews, but didn't get what he wanted for his book.
Mm.
Literally. Oh, not the
It was
biggest fan
such a
of
good
Oba
match.
Femi,
Such
lads.
a
I'm not
good
gonna
match.
lie to you. I just think he's just
I
another
did
big
want
guy.
the Don of NXT to get his win, get that North American title, but once again he fell short because the ruler of NXT was just too much. From that powerbomb was like something else. Really cool the way he does it.
Yeah. Is he still the Heritage Cup champion? Tony.
No, we dropped it back to William Regal's son.
Oh, Charlie Dempsey. All right. Nice one.
Yeah,
He's not a bad wrestler.
Charlie Dempsey with the help of what's that bleeding name? What's that bleeding boy's name? They paired up with them.
Do you know, I haven't got a fuck. I'm shit with names.
What's
Good with faces, but I'm shit with names got doing professional wrestling.
Another really good match. I think for me, probably up there for the pick a match of the night was Wesley against
Oh yeah.
his brother in arms,
Oh, Zachary Waltz.
Zachary Waltz.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a match. Hell of a
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, I seen highlights
Everything.
of that
I
match and I
think
thought it was really good.
the only botch was the Spanish table or the announce table no selling.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that was a good match. And do you know what? It's actually for a tag team to have a one-on-one match. They were really good. They had some really good chemistry and spots in the match from seeing the highlights on my phone anyway.
It's good to know that they're
And
sticking around as well. That
yeah,
was
and
good to
it's
see.
actually it's crazy that, isn't it? And Zachary Waltz being the X Division champion as well is also making sense for him getting put over because if Wesley, who's only just turned heel, wins while Zachary Waltz is the X Division champion, really doesn't make sense, and it basically fucks over, like because like Joe Hendry lost, which we will get into, but you need to have your champions win. So fair play to Shawn Michaels for putting over Zachary Waltz because it made more sense, in the grand scheme of things.
And Zachary Wentz had an amazing weekend. He came out on top of the Ultimate X and Emergence, which, by the way, if you haven't watched, go back, watch it. That match was unbelievable as well. I felt bad for Speedball. I didn't think he deserved to lose his belt, but
No, no.
all good things must come to an end.
True.
Um, the only other thing, unless I forgot something
Joe
off the top of
Hendry.
my head, which I don't think I did, was everyone believed, but that belief wasn't enough because at the end of the day, he was no match for all ego. We're still in the age of ego, baby.
Yeah, we're in the ego era, and Ethan Page is still your NXT champion.
I know
Yeah,
Rob
it's
was on
actually mad to
suicide
think
watch
that he didn't really
Monday
get lucky
morning
in an
because of it,
AEW.
but
Yeah, it's crazy to think to me that he didn't even get a look in an AEW. He was always just the sidekick for Scorpio Sky. And it's like, man, they could have done a lot of things with Ethan Page,
but
and Shawn Michaels has booked him
he's
correctly.
proven that now.
Yeah, absolutely. He is. He is a good character, and he does seem like he's main event, not main event, main roster already in a way because he's got that experience. He's been around for
I don't
ages,
want
and
him to go to the main
he's
roster
still the
just
same
yet.
gimmick.
He's having too much fun the next day. I want to stay put for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will stay put for a while. I'd
But
say he will probably stay until next year's Mania or whatever. But then you've also got the likes of Ricky Starks coming in, which is one of my personal favorites. Like Ricky Starks coming
I
in,
heard that.
him and
I
him
heard
and
that.
Ethan Page having a match for the NXT Championship will be fucking unbelievable. And how good them two can be on the mic, it will make it really, really good television.
I, for one, want to see the North reunite, and I want to see Josh Alexander and Ethan Page link back up because they were
Yeah,
fucked over hilariously by all TNA management before Scott Demore stepped in.
yeah, yeah. And what do you reckon of Josh Alexander after losing taking them up again? What do you reckon?
I mean, he might have lost, but fuck me, that Iron Man match.
Yeah, it was
Um,
immense. But I mean, what's next from? Is he going to go
they're
to
building
NXT?
up.
Is he going
See,
to make the move?
you don't want to take the belt off and Nick on after a couple of weeks. He just money, you know. It wouldn't have looked great. The loss doesn't deter them and knock them down the rankings. I think now with him not being heavily involved in the story is the perfect opportunity to say, listen, take a dip down to the other side of Florida there and see if Sean has that and we get you
Yeah.
involved. Alexander Albert heavyweight itself.
Oh man, I'd say you'd be
Alexander
creaming in
Albert
your
heavyweight
fucking jocks,
itself.
bro.
Oh, bro, stop.
We can see the patch already.
That it writes itself. It writes itself.
Yeah. And Trick Williams is in a rivalry with Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne's the only man in WWE that has two rivalries going on at the same time.
And he's making them work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It's not really that much
That's
interesting,
because
well, other than Sheamus because of the Brawling
that's
Brutes.
because Pete Dunne has figured it out.
Yeah.
Rob, what was your reaction to your hero not getting the job done on Sunday night? Because I know you had a music video yourself up during the week to celebrate prematurely what didn't happen.
I know, I know. As everyone knows, as I say, I still believe in Joe Henry. Everyone should believe in Joe Henry, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't to be his night. But there will be other nights when it will be his night. He will become NXT champion again, or for the first time, should I say? He will. He's too good right now. Ethan Page is really good as well. Really enjoy his work and that for what he's done since coming to the NXT. It's been brilliant. Joe Henry's been brilliant coming from TNA over, and that I think it was a hell of a boss move for Shawn Michaels to be able to pull off, and for Joe Henry to continue to get fans over, not just all over the world, but also from TNA over the like the WWE to be seen on WWE main TV as well, with his name being mentioned in every arena that you go into. It's just more of a question of he could go anywhere, he could turn up anywhere, and his name will be heard. Because all you have to say is,
So,
I believe in Joe Henry.
so what you're saying is there's a chance that on October 26th.
Some chance for that.
Lads, you just need to stop believing. There's no believing in fucking nothing.
This sign will be brought on October 26th, just in case.
You have that day off, won't get Rob.
I booked it off about 6 years ago just to make sure.
Yes.
Just well in advance. I was like, Joe,
Do we all have tickets for the 26th?
Oh, yes, we do have tickets for the 26th.
Because, lads, without a single match being announced, we sold out the stadium.
We fucking sold it out. Yes. Straight up out of it.
Wait until we all find out that Rob Gold is in every match.
We all find out that Finn and JD have got COVID. Now they can't turn up. Oh!
You can come to game number one.
So what? It's the last one. Fuck off.
I'll be defending this championship in every single match on the 26th.
Yeah.
Be careful. Is that Martin Stacey behind you?
What? I did steal his jacket. No, I did not. He stole my jacket.
Right.
Poor Rob the other night. Was like, what do you mean Martin Stacey won the Hard Knocks title? How?
He couldn't have sitting right there in front of me.
He's a tag team wrestler at best. But anyway, right. I just want to say something here. Before we do end this, because I'm gonna let Rob do the outro for this episode. I do want to announce something. I don't know if you've seen. I think sometime last week there was something that was put up on the Weekly Controversies Instagram story. I don't know if anyone caught that right on it, and it was basically about something needs to change really soon, and we've talked as the Weekly Controversies crew, everyone on the WhatsApp group chat, even with the FiveMarks with Martin himself, and we've come to the decision. I just think it's not fair on you, like you fans, on people who even know us or people who watch on YouTube, no matter who you are, who don't get what you're watching. Weekly Controversies, we are not really controversial every single week. And I think that is unfair for everyone who watches, because anyone who watches YouTube wants to watch what their title is, what their thumbnail is, everything. And we don't want to be fake to you. We want to be real to you. And we just want to talk about wrestling. So this episode of Weekly Controversies is going to be the last episode of Weekly Controversies. Now, we are not going anywhere. We are staying on the FiveMarks YouTube channel. We are staying on the network. But we are going to go full rebrand. We are going to go proper into a different name. We're going to keep the same team. We're going to keep the same way we've been, but we are going to go a different name because we want to be real to you, the people who watch us, the people who have texted us, who have interacted with us. We want to be real to you. We will come up with a name. We will be true to ourselves, and we will keep with the FiveMarks YouTube channel, the FiveMarks network. We don't know about Instagram, stuff like that, so we will let everyone know, on any social medias that you follow us on. But yes, we just want to announce that this is the last episode of Weekly Controversies. So,
and it has pleasure.
Yeah.
Weekly Controversies banner. Tony, have you any last words under the Weekly Controversies banner before we sign off for the evening? For one last
Listen, I started this back in January as a shy, in the shadows, a background person, not knowing what he was doing, to going from 2 to 1 to an absolute family of 5, 2 of which are missing due to moving around their home country, but they'll be backwards. And it's been a hell of a ride. 30 episodes. We're not pressing the big reset button. We're just rehoming ourselves, rebranding, if you will. I know you're all thinking, have you got a name? Is that going to be a name going forward? He's going to give us a name. I think we're fully agreed on the name at this point. And
well, we won't reveal anything yet, Tony. We will keep the anticipation.
We are going to keep the name to ourselves until the logo and all is made. But keep your eyes on the TikTok and for now the Instagram, because that's where everything will be revealed. Indeed. By hopefully not a man in a gold suit, but I have no control over that, unfortunately.
Yeah. And as I was going to say as well, we will be uploading a lot more. We want to upload a lot more. We want to put as much effort into this rebrand as possible, because we want to be true to what we are trying to tell ourselves. Because yes, we can be controversial, but we're not controversial all the time, and that's not fair on the people who want us to be controversial all the time. So if we want to be true to ourselves for years, we will do that. We're our new name, we're our new brand, and we are gonna hopefully try and impress you, because that is the main important thing for us. We want you to have a good time. If you want to interact with us, even if you know us personally at a show or whatever, to say hello, you do that with the FiveMarks lads. They always encourage you. We will encourage it as well. We're harmless cunts. We don't do anything to badmouth anybody, or we don't do anything to be uncomfortable. We are just like you. We're fucking wrestling fans. We talk, we ramble, we make friends, we have a laugh, we banter. Yeah, do we act professional? Yeah, but so fucking what? We be ourselves, and we're being ourselves right now, telling you this. But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting one. We cannot wait to do it. There's gonna be more news in due course over the next couple of months. But last time, Rob Gold is gonna sign us off.
As I said before, it has been an absolute pleasure being here, being as one of the hosts, and I couldn't have done this without any of you at all. So I want to thank each and every person who's come on the podcast, each and every person that has co-hosted alongside myself and along with the rest of the guys as well. And folks, I do want to thank, I don't know if we should thank this guy or not, but I think we should thank Martin for the work that he's put into this podcast as well. and getting it off the ground as well, which is a big round of applause, I think, for him as well for that. And I do want to also add in that you can still find us on the FiveMarks YouTube channel. And we are Monday, 6 p.m, Spotify as well. And that's every Monday until we go off. This will be the last episode under the Weekly Controversies. We will be back bigger, badder than ever before. Still more golden, still more Jayo, and still more Tony as well. So folks, stay tuned for anything through either the TikToks or the Instagram as well. I have been Rob Gold. This has been Jayo. This has been Tony. I've been Rob Gold signing off for one more time. And if you can't be golden, just stay.